Today, I want to tell you something that will blow away all that you know about growing older and getting stronger. If you're having more trouble getting out of the chair, having to strain to carry groceries upstairs, or feeling your arms and legs are weaker than they ever were, I want you to listen to me carefully. Everything you've been going through is not simply normal aging. It's preventable loss of muscle that can be reversed regardless of your age. All the things you've been told about weakening with age are wrong. The medical profession has failed elderly people in the worst possible manner by making weakness a norm instead of treating the underlying reason. Prescriptions for depression, not prescriptions for strength, are handed out to them. Rest rather than resistance is prescribed to them. But suppose I tell you that even at the ages of 80, 85, or 90, you can gain as much muscle as someone of half your age. Let me share with you the results of a revolutionary study that altered everything. Scientists at Harvard University selected a group of 90-year-olds who'd not moved in decades and were regarded as frail and beyond repair. These individuals were placed on a simple strength training regimen. The medical community forecasted minimal improvement at best, but the results were so dramatic they repeated the study several times to be able to accept their own findings. Within 8 weeks, these elderly patients quadrupled their strength. Their walking speed increased by 48%, or nearly walking twice as fast. Their balance was enhanced by 35%, which cut their risk of falling in half. Some patients discarded their walkers and were walking unassisted for the first time in years. Let me tell you some actual transformations that will leave you speechless. Margaret, age 78, couldn't bring her groceries from her car to her kitchen without resting 3 times. 6 months later, Margaret is deadlifting 85 pounds and just finished her first 5K walk. Then there is Frank, whose tale will move you to tears. At age 82, Frank required assistance with putting clothes on in the morning and was embarrassed. Today, Frank dresses himself and is now teaching his 12-year-old grandson how to throw a football, and they played catch nonstop for 2 hours. More astonishing than any of those is Dorothy, age 89, who lived in a nursing home and was bedridden, in a wheelchair for 3 years. In 6 months, Dorothy transferred from the wheelchair to walking on her own, moved back into her own apartment, and last Christmas danced at her great-grandson's wedding. So what's actually occurring to your muscles? How come so many of us accept weakness as unavoidable? The key to understanding is knowing 3 silent killers that are currently damaging your muscle tissue as you're listening to this. The very first killer is taking place in your nervous system. At age 25, you possess about 70,000 motor neurons operating your leg muscles. These are like electrical wires from your brain to your muscles, but by age 75, you've lost 30,000 of those nerves, nearly half of your muscle operating system. The destruction of these nerves is why many elderly get the impression that their muscles no longer respond like they used to. The second of these killers is more sinister in that it strikes invisibly. Even if you don't have diabetes, elevated blood sugar is systematically killing off the small blood vessels that nourish your muscles. Imagine your muscles as a garden where your individual muscle fibers require constant water, nutrients, and oxygen brought to them by minute blood vessels called capillaries. When blood sugar is elevated, it is causing those capillaries to be damaged by the process of glycation, literally rusting from the inside and gradually shutting off the water supply to your garden. The greatest of all killers is something that nobody has ever heard of, and yet it kills nearly half of all seniors. It's called sarcopenia, and in 2016, the World Health Organization declared it to be a disease. Sarcopenia starts at age 30 and is relentless. You lose anywhere from 3 to 8% of your muscular mass each decade to begin with, and from age 60 on, the loss remains between 8 and 15% each decade. There is no pain, no visible warning signs, and no dramatic presentation, only slow, gradual, progressive weakness that creeps up on you until simple things are impossible to do. Here is what gives me tremendous hope and should excite you. Your body is eager to be strong. At age 80, 90, or 100, your muscles await the proper stimulus to grow. New evidence has demonstrated that muscle satellite cells, the stem cells within your muscles that are responsible for the growth and repair of your muscles, are alive and functional throughout your lifetime. These cells are dormant giants within your muscles, ready to be activated by two stimuli: nutritional signals from appropriate foods and mechanical stress from resistance exercise. Now, put all that you have been told about costly supplements and detailed meal plans out of your mind. Everything I am about to reveal to you is available in any supermarket, is cheaper than a cup of coffee a day, and performs better than the majority of prescribed medicines. These are not simply fruits. They are medicine in disguise, each targeting particular pathways of muscle building, recovery, and strength. Let's take the humble banana, providing more potassium content, 422 milligrams, than most sports drinks. With each time your muscle fires, with each step you take, with each time you get up from your chair, you require potassium. It's the electrical conductor to enable your muscles and your nerves to talk to each other. Without enough potassium, your muscles simply can't fire, and you get weakness and that swoony WWOZ feeling that many elderly citizens are familiar with. Eat a banana 30 minutes before exercise, and your muscles will fire back with noticeably more power and coordination. Following is avocado, which is technically a fruit and arguably the most vital one to consume in order to build muscle strength. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble, and with no healthy fat in your regimen, your body cannot absorb these essential vitamins to support muscle strength, bones, and recovery. Oleic acid in avocados is a monounsaturated fat with direct muscle building capabilities that help with inflammation reduction, acceleration of muscle recovery, and insulin sensitivity. Berries, such as blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries, are like having microscopic maintenance workers circulating in your bloodstream 24/7. There are more antioxidants in 1 cup of mixed berries than the majority of individuals obtain in a whole week. Blueberries have special compounds within them called anthocyanins that work on targeting inflammation in the muscles. Research has demonstrated that elderly individuals who consume daily intake of berries have 23% decreased post-exercise soreness, recover in 40% less time, and better preserve their muscle mass in the long term. Dates are nature's pre-workout supplement. 3 dates are more potassium-rich than a banana, more naturally occurring sugars than that sports drink, and more magnesium than most of us get from our daily supplement. Dates supply both quick and lasting energy to your muscles, providing you with quick energy for activity assistance and storing the long-term fuel in your glycogen reserve. It's like getting both your gas and your reserve gas tanks full. Oranges are rich in vitamin C, the collagen builder, the protein that literally keeps your muscles, tendons, and ligaments together. Low levels of vitamin C in the elderly are found to be associated with 34% decreased grip strength and walking speed of 28%. Vitamin C is also necessary in the synthesis of carnitine, which makes your muscles use fat as fuel more effectively. Pomegranates are full of compounds that stimulate nitric oxide production by leaps and bounds, which widens your blood arteries and delivers blood to your muscles by as much as 40%. More blood equals more oxygen, more nutrients, and more waste removal. Older adults who consumed pomegranate juice daily enhanced exercise capacity by 17% and minimized muscular fatigue by 25% in the first week. Apples provide quercetin, a potent compound that actually increases the amount of mitochondria in your muscle cells. Mitochondria are like small power plants that generate energy in your muscles. Studies indicate quercetin is able to boost endurance in your muscles by as much as 13%, meaning you walk further, climb more stairs, and remain active longer before getting tired. Kiwi has more vitamin C than oranges and more vitamin E than avocados, giving it a potent cellular repair system that operates round the clock. During sleep, kiwi nutrients are busily rebuilding your muscular fibers and your muscles ready to handle next day's demands. Additionally, kiwi has enzymes to facilitate better digestion of protein so that the protein you consume reaches your muscles. Pineapple is rich in bromelain, a natural enzyme which is more effective than many medications, available in stores. Research reveals that bromelain decreases soreness in muscles by as much as 35% and accelerates healing by as much as 50%. In contrast to NSAIDs with potentially dire side effects, bromelain is natural and totally safe. Lastly, watermelon has citrulline, which is an amino acid your body metabolizes into arginine, stimulating the production of nitric oxide and increasing blood flow. Citrulline has been demonstrated to increase exercise performance by 12% and decrease soreness by 40%. The improvement in performance is immediate and measurable. Here's how to blend these fruits together to get maximum impact with the best muscle-building smoothie. Combine with 1 banana to provide potassium power, half of a cup of mixed berries to be inflammation fighters, and a quarter avocado to provide healthy fats. Add 1 cup of watermelon to provide performance boost, 2 dates to provide energy, and a cup of water or unsweetened almond milk. Consume this 30 to 60 minutes before exercise to get maximum improvement in performance, or right after exercise to get maximum recovery. Now I am going to provide you with your entire 3-step plan to begin gaining muscle today. The first is the daily fruit regimen. In the morning, consume 1 banana and 1 kiwi for energy and vitamin C. In the mid-morning, consume the Power smoothie. At lunch, consume 1 cup of mixed berries and half of an avocado. For your snack in the early afternoon, enjoy 1 orange and 2 to 3 dates. Before dinner, enjoy 1 cup of watermelon or 4 ounces of pomegranate juice. In the early evening, consume 1 apple for quercetin and fiber. Step 2 is the foundation. 5 exercise program. No gym membership or costly equipment are necessary. These 5 exercises are performed 3 times a week. Chair stands are performed while seated in a stable chair with arms crossed, standing from the chair without putting your hands on your knees, and slowly seating yourself back down 10 to 15 repetitions to strengthen your legs. Wall push-ups are performed with your back to the wall, standing arm's length away, and pushing your palms into the wall and back slowly for 5 to 20 repetitions to strengthen your upper body. To raise your heels, hold on to the bathroom or kitchen counter and raise onto your toes and slowly down to the floor in the same position, 15 to 20 repetitions to work on balance. Arm circles are performed with arms out to your sides, circling your arms in gradually increasing circles, 10 in both directions to keep your shoulders flexible. Lastly, march in place to the tune of your favorite music, raising your knees high and swinging your arms naturally for 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Step 3 is complete medical optimization. Appoint or schedule an appointment with your physician and ask your physician to order specific tests such as complete metabolic panel, vitamin D targeting between 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter, and magnesium RBC and, in the case of males, complete hormone panel. Here's a surprising fact. 78% of elderly are in deficit of vitamin D, and 68% are in deficit of the essential mineral magnesium. Together, this is terrible for the health of your muscles, yet filling those deficits will raise strength by as much as 20 to 30%. For males age 65 and beyond, low testosterone can be the silent perpetrator of ongoing loss of muscle mass. Under doctor's care, testosterone replacement therapy can be truly amazing with results such as 15 to 30% gain in muscle mass in 6 months, notable improvement in bone density, and dramatic improvements in energy levels. Creatine is another force to be reckoned with, not only available to youngsters on the sporting scene anymore. Various senior participant studies reveal within 8 weeks improvements in strength to the tune of 15 to 30%, better balance, and stability, and enhanced mental acuity. Dosed at 3 to 5 grams daily, it is less expensive than daily coffee and more powerful than costly supplements. Let me cover some of the things you may struggle with. If things don't get better as quick as you'd like, be reminded that it takes time, especially if you've been out of condition for decades. Use process goals such as more consistencies instead of outcome goals such as certain strength levels. Enjoy some of the small wins such as better sleep or more endurance. If you cannot get all of the fruits, use frozen if fresh is costly, since frozen fruit is not as nutritionally diminished and cheaper. Use the cheaper options such as bananas, apples, and oranges. The underlying science of how and why this is possible is really interesting, every part of it synergistically with the rest. The exercise provides the stimulus, the food supplies the raw material, and the medical optimization avoids obstacles to improvement. Small amounts of improvement compound into big transformations over time. A daily improvement of 1% is equal to the equivalent of a 37-fold improvement in 1 year, and that is why consistency is more important than excellence. Picture yourself in 12 months' time, waking up strong and full of vigor, easily rising from bed with no pain or creakiness, walking boldly with stable balance and coordination, carrying groceries, running around with your grandchildren, and living autonomously with pride and self-respect. That is not fantasy, but attainable reality, available to everyone who is willing to apply these principles on a daily basis. When you reinvent yourself, you don't only change your life, you inspire those around you. Your children witness that growing older does not necessarily equal loss. Your grandchildren see that hard work and wise decision-making trump age. Your fellow retirees know they have more choices than they ever realized. You get to be among those leading the revolution to shift society's perceptions of growing old. Now you possess the entire blueprint to gaining strength and muscle after age 80. You know the science, you possess the practical application, and you've witnessed evidence that it works. The only issue is, will you take action? Start today by choosing one item from today's list and consuming it tomorrow. In week 1, adopt the entire daily fruit regimen. In week 2, incorporate the Foundation 5 exercises. In month 1, arrange your complete medical checkup. In month 3, evaluate your improvement and celebrate your successes. In month 6, spread your success story to those in need of hope. Keep these things in mind. You're not too old, you're not too weak, you're not too late. You're precisely where you need to be to begin to get stronger. Margaret deadlifts 85 pounds at age 78. Frank is coaching his grandson football at age 82. Dorothy danced in a wedding at age 90. These are not miracles. They're the obvious outcome of utilized understanding and consistent behavior. Your body is incredibly resilient. Your muscles are waiting to grow, and your strength is waiting to come back. Your greatest days are not behind you. They are in front of you, waiting to be claimed. The revolution begins now, and the revolution begins with you.